Hey, what's up and hello, it's Kim here and welcome back to my channel. For this video, I'm going to be doing my first book review, so welcome to book club. I have read a couple new books over the past month and I'm so excited to share them. Some were really great, some I had to kind of push through, but let's get started and I hope you guys enjoy. So I'm going to go over 4 books that I've read recently and I'm going to start with the first one that I just finished. So this is the newest one that I've read and it is Verity by Colleen Hoover. Not even joking, like I could not put this book down. It was so freaking good. Like every page, it just keeps you wanting more and you just want to keep reading and find out what is happening. So without giving away any spoilers, long story short, an author gets in an accident, hires another author to finish off her series, ends up kind of getting really close with her husband and then finds out all these family secrets and she's just stuck in the middle between what do I do? Will they believe me or not? And it just spirals down from there. It's never ending. Lots of drama, intensity, love, romance, thriller, a little bit of creepy, like sketchiness going on. So it will definitely keep you on your toes. I highly recommend Verity. It was such a great read. Next up, I want to talk about The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. This was such a great book. I love the ending. Now, I will admit, the beginning, I was a little caught off guard with how it starts. It's a little non-traditional compared to your typical read where it's like a full novel just going through all the way. I'm not sure how to explain it correctly, but this one you'll see right away, so I'm not giving away any spoilers. It switches between characters and their points of view and how they're telling the story. Basically, it's New Year's Eve and a group of 6 friends, I believe, go on like a last vacation for the year, and then all these crazy things happen on this vacation and there ends up being a murder. You're trying to figure out throughout the book like who did it, what happened. You kind of like get a history of the characters from like the past while it's also talking about the present. So it kind of changes tenses and it also changes perspective between the characters. So it's a really interesting read. I honestly haven't read a book like this before. Essentially every chapter is a different character talking and then they'll like go back and forth and go back to the stories that it was on. So at the end it all kind of comes together and you try to figure out like what happened, but Lucy Foley is amazing. I know she has another book called The Guest List that I'm definitely checking out next. Start with The Hunting Party. I believe she wrote this one before The Guest List, so this is a good starter book. So if you're interested, definitely check this one out. I highly recommend it. It was a bit slow at first, but then you kind of get sucked into all the characters and their lives and you just want to finish it. So it was a really good read. The next book I want to discuss is called Pieces of Her. This one is by Karen Slaughter, and honestly, one of the main reasons I picked up this book when I went to buy it at Barnes & Noble was because it is going to be a show on Netflix. I just thought that was so cool. Like a lot of times when you're reading a book, you picture it in your head and you think of the characters how they're described in the book. But once it really comes to life in a movie or a TV series, it's so different, or it could be the same than what you imagined it. So very excited to see this one. The beginning was a little difficult for me to understand. They just kind of start right into the story and there's no real introduction of the characters, but within like 2 or 3 chapters you kind of like figure it out. So the premise of it, without giving too much away, something happens with this daughter and her mother, and then she finds out all these secrets about her mother that she never knew. The daughter is trying to figure out what's going on, like I don't even know my mom, and the whole book she's kind of putting pieces together of her mother while also trying to figure out what happened with this whole murder scene. There's like a scandal with this big company that comes up and it kind of intertwines with like the daughter and the mother and what they're going through. There's just a lot really involved in this book and it really keeps you wanting to read and figure out who all these characters are, how they relate, what's going on. You kind of start trying to guess the ending and I feel like at one point in the book it clicks and you're just like, oh, I see. So definitely check out Pieces of Her. I really loved it and I am excited to watch it on Netflix. I hope it does it justice. All right, I saved the best book for last. Guys, this book is so near and dear to my heart. I haven't read anything like this. Now, the first book I talked about, Verity, comes very close. That is a very close second place. But this one, definitely takes the cake. I loved The Silent Patient. I honestly would read it again and again, but it's one of those books where once you read it once, like, it's not the same if you read it again. So think about like your favorite movie. Once like that plot twist happens or you figure out who done it, then you really can't watch it again the same way because you already know what happens. But the writing in this book was incredible, the way it switches between the characters. Long story short, it's about a wife kills her husband, shoots him in the face. He dies, and then for like 5 or 6 years after that, like, is mute. She doesn't say a word. She's the silent patient, gets checked into like a rehabilitation facility, and none of the doctors can get through to her. And then, you know, of course, like one doctor comes along and like tries to work his magic, and turns out like he has a story of his own and she's trying to reveal her story. And so you're kind of mixed between like the villain and the hero and who's saying what, and are you gonna find out? And it is just such a mind boggler. Like, this one really kept me wanting more. Like, I was so invested in it. I really thought it was real life. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I know these characters and like I feel like these are my friends. What's happening? But The Silent Patient was seriously like 12 out of 10. Like, it was incredible. I highly recommend you read this one. You will not regret it. It was so good. And also, this is a first-time author, guys, so like honestly, as soon as he releases another book, like, I am snatching that up because this one is just so good. So check out The Silent Patient. And that's all I have for y'all. I know this was a very quick and easy review. I really try not to give away too much. Like I said, all of these books were incredible. They all had a different feel, kind of the same like murder, mystery, thriller, psychological craziness going on in your head, but they were really good, really refreshing and interesting to read. I'm going to be leaving links for everything in the description so y'all can snatch up those books. They're on Amazon, Half Price Books, Barnes & Noble, you name it, you will definitely find it somewhere. So check them out, and I hope y'all enjoy. If you guys enjoyed these book reviews, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate all the love and support, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!